Thank you. Senator Cassidy, thank you for that as well coming in. Thanks for the work and for the task that you're taking on this. Obviously, all of us have questions. We've continued to be able to press on free trade agreements, and it has been the frustration of this committee and it's been the frustration of many of our ag producers in my state about there is no ongoing FTAs that seem to be moving at all. And that has that changed? Are there any free trade agreements that are currently being negotiated?
For your ag producers, I just want to make the case that, and reassert, we are working for them every single day, and we are scoring wins for them without having to do the long negotiations in a free trade agreement. So the short answer to be responsive to you is no, we're not doing the big comprehensive agreements that are really great for ag and terrible for our industries, but we are nevertheless securing wins, $21 billion
right. No, I get that.
Over the last 3 years.
The challenge of that is when it's not an FTA, there's no certainty on it, and that executive agreements come and go with administrations. An FTA has some semblance of certainty on it where we at least know what the plan is and what the long-term relationships on that are. I know Senator Blackburn had mentioned about China and the WTO that we've not initiated any new cases on that. I heard from you saying, hey, we're not going to win anything anyway, and so we're just not going to do it and not spend time on that. There is a messaging portion of that that I think is significant as well, to be able to go through the existing tariffs review that's been ongoing for 2 years. And I know you mentioned Senator Crapo, that's only been a year and a half. As I'm counting time on that, I think it started in May of 2022. And so it's been, that sounds like 2 years to me on that. So 2 years of that process on it. Do you know when that review is going to conclude?
So, Senator Lankford, just to be really precise, the review started in September of 2022, and so I don't want to argue with you over 6 months, but soon, very, very soon. I have a high degree of confidence that we concluded soon.
So the reason I ask you that is because I know President Biden has asked for consideration. It hasn't started yet for consideration on a 25% tariff on China on steel, 10% on aluminum. Wall Street Journal reported, and we're still waiting on the details on this, Wall Street Journal reported on today it would be 0.6% of the steel coming in the United States is what this particular tariff. I don't know if that's an accurate number or not. That was reported today, so I'd be interested to know if it ends up being 0.6% of the steel coming in the United States, or that's even close. My question to you, though, is if we're at the point where the 7.5% review from the previous administration, we're a year and a half into it, the 25% review, how long will that take until a decision is made, since that consideration started today?
I think that the language was he called on USTR to consider. I wouldn't take that as a starting, I wouldn't consider that a starting point. As I just want to give you the best information and the most holistic response. It has been a comprehensive review of the existing tariffs. You're right, it's taken 19 months now, but I have a high degree of confidence that we are coming to a conclusion and we'll be able to finalize it soon.
Okay, so for this next group, for the 25% and 10% tariff, steel and aluminum on that, how long until a decision is made on that one?
So what I'm trying to tell you is that the review on the tariffs takes place in its entirety, so that when we conclude the process, you should see an entire package.
So all of that would be included together at some point. The Wall Street Journal reporting today that it would affect about an additional 0.6% of the steel. Is that accurate, not accurate, or where do you think that number came from? They quoted just an administrative source or an administration source on that, but I don't know who that would be, obviously.
I've not seen the article, Senator Lankford, but I will take a look, and I'd be happy to respond to you after I've taken a look.
Okay, that'd be helpful. Thank you. As far as new markets on the ag side of things, I know you're working through some of that, trying to be able to help existing agreements. Are there other new markets on the ag side that are pending?
Yes, so there's the work that we've done with India across 12 tariff areas where we've opened up opportunities for tree nuts, cranberries. This is a little bit of a test for me. I think it was blueberries, turkey, duck. We'd also worked on pork earlier. With Japan, we've opened up with the beef safeguard. We've got ethanol, more ethanol going to Japan now too. Jordan just dropped tariffs on eggs. Colombia, they just changed course. They've reopened to our poultry exports. Bangladesh dropped cotton fumigation barriers, which will allow us to ship more cotton. Ghana has opened up access to meat and poultry as well. And this is just kind of a top level in terms of our latest work.
And I've seen some of that on the tree nut side. The chairman and I have had this conversation before, talking through different aspects of how do we actually help individual companies make complaints, especially against China. We have companies in my state that know that steel or other products are being dumped into the market. For them to be able to initiate the challenge on that has been burdensome. As you know, they've got to get with a foreign entity to get them to show their paperwork as well. It's very difficult. It's an area that we need to be able to work together as a committee. The chairman and I have talked about this, and we need to be able to get some solutions for those companies to get a solution.
Time of the